Hi. So, over lockdown 3, I have rediscovered Harry Styles. Now, I've always liked Harry Styles, but somewhat of an obsession has begun. So, I mean, you know from the title of this week I've decided to read like Harry Styles. So I think I'm going to start the week with the classic In Watermelon Sugar, because she's short and hopefully will be a little quick one to start the week. I've also heard that it's like, woo! Oh my lord. As I was saying, I've heard that this book is really weird and wacky and strange. And I feel like the whole theme of this week is that I'm not really going to understand any of the things I read, but I'm going to read them anyway for the vlog. So let's go.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful.
So I just finished In Watermelon Sugar and it's so weird. Honestly, I'm so confused. I know everyone said it was weird, but like it's really weird. I didn't understand it. I think it's just like they're meant to live in this like kind of utopian world, but it's not, and like people are still sad. I don't know. Basically nothing happened for like the first 3 quarters, and then suddenly like stuff happened, but it was all weird. I'm so confused. Harry Styles, if you've read this book, please explain it to me. I don't understand. I don't think I'm clever enough for this. I read YA. I don't think Harry and I are on the same wavelength. But we'll see as the week goes on. Oh. It's Tuesday, new day, second day of reading like Harry Styles, and I'm pleased to announce things are looking up. Watermelon Sugar, In Watermelon Sugar had me a bit worried, but things are looking better. And actually the more I think about In Watermelon Sugar, I can't stop thinking about it, so I think that is a good thing. However, last night I started this, which is called I Wrote This For You, Just the Words. Now there is a version which has photos in, but it was like £6 more expensive, so I got the cheaper one. And this is just so cute. I'm like maybe a quarter of the way through, just over a quarter. And this is the poetry book all about love, and it's just really cute. I really like it. Hey me.
Hi friends.
So I haven't read any Harry Styles books today.
We're the Beaker Girls.
Yeah. We're watching Tracy, what's it called? My Mum Tracy Beaker.
My mum Tracy Beaker.
It's maybe one of the worst TV programmes ever, but also one of the best TV programmes ever. Controversial. An update in the Harry Styles. I've done my Harry Styles collage.
I'm crocheting.
Amy's crocheting. She's got her wool bowl over there.
My wool bowl.
The wool bowl. She has a wool bowl. And that's the update. Hello. It's Wednesday, 17th of February, and I'm in a Christmas jumper. Because why not? It's really comfy and I like it. Last night I finished I Wrote This For You and I loved it. I think it is just the sweetest book. It's so cute. Today I'm going to start Norwegian Wood, which I've heard really good things about, so I'm excited to read that. I've never read a Murakami book because I kind of thought, I don't know, I just thought they weren't my thing. But we're going to find out today if they are my thing. So see you when I've done some reading. I'm just starting Norwegian Wood, and I just want to document that my top is sparkling on my book. It's making me very happy. I'm in my bed. Hello there, happy Thursday. As you've just seen, I started the day with some baking. I haven't done any reading today, and the reason is I'm really enjoying this book, but I have this thing where I like to I like to finish like my reading session at the end of a chapter. Now the chapter I'm about to start is 102 pages long, so I don't know, I feel threatened by it. I feel slightly stressed, but I am enjoying it. I'm just somewhat overwhelmed, so I will read it later. But I'm about to do something fun / extra / unnecessary and strange, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and that is I'm going to make the Harry Styles top that he wore when he wore the iconic cardigan, because I want to make a TikTok. So I'm making this top now, and then I'm gonna try and make the TikTok. Life is so fun. It's lockdown, just let me live, okay? Thank you. Hello vlog, it's Saturday. I've switched up the vlogging room today for no reason other than every day's been in the same room, so now you get a new room. Last night I finished Norwegian Wood and it was real sad. It's a really sad book and I didn't really think it was going to be sad, but it was quite upsetting. But I really enjoyed it, so I will talk about it at the end of the week. And then I started last night this Charles Bukowski poetry book. Now, I thought I was gonna hate it. I've heard people like really don't like him, and there are moments that I'm like, I don't feel like I should be reading this. This feels inappropriate for my eyes to be seeing. However, I actually really like it. I really enjoy his writing, and I was gonna just read like 3 poems, and then I ended up reading half the book last night, so that was great. And yeah, I feel like I maybe shouldn't like it, but I do. So that's the update. I don't know why it's taken me all week to realise that there's other places that I could read that aren't my bed. So I've got a change of scenery for today, and I've got my little reading buddy. Say hello, Archie. So yeah, that's the plan. I've just been doing some sewing. Oh, and I took a time lapse because I thought it might be interesting, but instead it just looks like Mum and I are kind of going crazy because we're just like pottering around. So that's what I've been doing for like the last 2 hours. Okay, I just wanted to make some points will be made about this book. Firstly, I forgot to mention, but I love that it's floppy. UK books are not like that often, so it's a real treat. Also, Bukowski, right, so I like him. I don't dislike him. I'm just gonna scooch back. I don't dislike him, but he really hates dogs. I think he hates dogs, and potentially also horses, because they're always like the baddies in all of his poems, and he'll like liken all things to dogs, and I'm just like, okay, I like dogs, so don't ruin them for me. So that's something. And also, he seems to wake up very early, because several times he's mentioned that he's woken up or been awake around 5 AM, and that's just quite impressive. There's been a plot twist. He just said, I love her dog. Maybe he doesn't hate all dogs. He only hates some dogs. It's Sunday, it's the last day of Harry week. Oh, I feel kind of sad. Also, excuse my hair, this is how I woke up. I haven't done anything to it. Yeah, the last day, who would have thought I made it through the week? Okay, so it's 10 AM now on Sunday. I got up really early to read because last night I ended up being distracted. I was making Amy this Taylor Swift face mask. I haven't sewn it yet, I need to sew it this morning, but I was like embroidering the writing, and then I did this one too that says Evermore. So I was like distracted by my sewing, so I didn't read. I know, I'm really cool. But I am now just over halfway through The Architecture of Happiness, which is this one. It's not something I would ever pick up, an architecture book, but I'm enjoying it. I've got 100 pages left of this, and then I've got Leaves of Grass, so hopefully I will get through those both today. if you've made it through the week, thank you. Yeah, happy Sunday. See you later on when hopefully I'll have finished both books. Oh.
2 blooms for a penny. Who will buy? I'm just singing to Olivia's camera. Your mum caught me.
Hello. Would it be helpful to have the books in a book video? I have the books. And a week's worth of tabs. Look at that. It was an interesting week. I haven't edited the vlog yet, so I don't know what you've actually seen yet. But hopefully it will have been enjoyable, entertaining, fun for all the family. But now I'm just going to talk about the books. I've written some notes. Here we are. There's quite a lot. But I'll kind of just speed through them. I started the week with Notes on Camp by Susan Sontag. I think that's how you say her name. I really enjoyed it. So basically the reason I chose or read this book is because I saw in Jack Edwards' video that he also read this because obviously it was the Met Gala, it was Notes on Camp, and Harry was a presenter, so I'm assuming maybe he read this, maybe he didn't, but I think like his whole vibe fits with the theme of the book, well, like the essays in the book. So basically the theme of the book, the essays, are that like camp is all about like embodying larger than life things and being outrageous, but like being really serious about it. So it's not like taking the mickey out of things, which obviously Harry Styles does. He doesn't take the mickey out of things, he embodies it without joking. So yeah, I don't have a huge amount to say about this book. I just think I thought it was interesting and I'm glad I read it. And yeah, on to the next one, which was interesting, really interesting. So In Watermelon Sugar by Richard Brautigan. And this book, I'm still confused by it. I think I hated it, but I also liked it.
Don't worry, everyone. I hated it. It wasn't me. I loved it.
I think book number 3 was my favourite of the week. This is I Wrote This For You. This is the Just the Words version. The actual version that Harry read is one with pictures, but I don't have that version, so I just read the text. And I loved it so much. I thought it was so beautiful and just so sweet. Like, I've written in my notes that it's a very telling you book. You don't really have to read into any of it. It kind of just says like, this is the emotion, this is the vibe, this is what's happening. But it's all so cute. I was gonna say it's like reading a poem. It is a poem. It kind of made me feel so happy because like love is so cute, but also like really alone. Super alone. So in terms of song vibes, the vibes I got from this book were Cherry, Carolina, Little Things, One Direction classic, and Moments, aka my 2 favourite One Direction songs, because they're just cute and emotional and sweet. Number 4 is the classic Harry Styles book, Norwegian Wood. I feel like this is the one that everyone knows, because he literally mentions it in like a lot of interviews and he's been seen with it, stuff like that. So in an interview, he said that this is the book he'd recommend to everyone and that it was like the first book ever that he couldn't stop reading. Like he couldn't think about not reading it. He always wanted to be reading it at every second of the day. Now, I can't relate. That's not to say I didn't like the book. I liked the book, but it's really sad. It's really sad and really like upsetting, and I don't want to read it all the time because it made me sad. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was so well written and really a lovely book, and it really has made me want to go to Japan. In Harry Styles's Beauty Papers interview, quite a few of these books / authors are mentioned in that, and he mentions Murakami, the author, and he also mentions Midori, who is like the female protagonist in the book. Now, I don't know why he mentioned her. I don't know what the question was, if it was his favourite character, a character he relates to, but she is a sad character. She's like the second choice character, like the one you don't really know what happens at the end, and she's just sad. So I don't know if that's nice that he relates to that or if it's not nice. But I did like her. She's kind of funny at first. When she first came into the book, I was like, you're a bit strange, but then I grew to like her. So maybe that's how Harry views himself, a bit strange, but you grow to like him. And she's also like very lonely, which is a theme in a lot of these books. A lot of them like touch on loneliness and are about being sad, which like I relate to, but also it was a really heavy reading week because it was just not my usual YA rom-com, so I've expanded my horizons and also made myself feel sad. The reason I think this is very influential on Harry and his writing is because it's very simple in terms of like the format of the writing, and there are some sentences that come in and they're like just one small sentence and they're like shocking or just like effective, and I feel like that is his writing. Simple but effective.
Simple but effective.
And that is the same with the other poetry books I'm going to talk about later. They are also quite simply written, but they say a lot in a small fragment. No one can hear you. It's not live. Oh. Or is it? No, it's not. The next book I read was one that I was the least excited about because I'd heard such bad things, and it was Burning in Water, Drowning in Flame by Charles Bukowski. And I had heard that Charles Bukowski was not one to be read, not for the faint-hearted, which I can see, but I also really enjoyed it, and I was very pleasantly surprised by basically the whole book. He is a poet who Harry Styles mentions a lot, and he's like been seen with his books loads and stuff like the other ones. And again, his writing is really simple, and it's like just narrating life. It's not like deep. It's just quite surface level, but in a nice way, which a lot of Harry Styles' songs are. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like they're not really meta. Does that make sense? Like, I love a meta moment, but not all the time. And I feel like it's just nice to be like, this is what happened, this is the story. It was really romantic, it was really depressing, it was really happy, whatever. And that's it, that's as simple as it gets. So I really enjoyed that about the writing of this book. Bukowski has described himself as a dirty old man. Now, I see that, and yeah, I see it. There were moments that I was like, should I be reading this? Should this have been written down on a page? But thankfully they were few and far between in this book. Now, I have heard that his writing is very inconsistent, so perhaps I just got lucky with this particular collection, but I would like to read more to see what it's like. I hope that the rest doesn't scar me. That would be quite ideal if it didn't emotionally traumatise me. But yeah, I'll see how I feel about that. And there's also one poem that's very Cherry-esque. It's like really bitter about this girl he broke up with and how she's like stealing his poems. And I just feel like it's those sort of vibes, like, you know, does he take you around his parents' gallery vibes. Oh, and also Only Angel actually samples Bukowski in the song, so he's really got a lot of stuff going with Harry Styles. Overall, I think it's much more Harry Styles 1 as opposed to Fine Line, but the simple storytelling aspect obviously is in both his albums. Right, the second to last book I read is this, The Architecture of Happiness, which has the most aesthetic cover ever. I love it. And this is a book which I never ever 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 would have chosen myself. A book about architecture is not really my usual read, however, very enjoyable. So Alain de Botton, I don't know how you say his name, but Harry has mentioned him a lot, and this book was actually mentioned in a Vogue interview. He gifted it to Hamish Bowles, who interviewed him for Vogue, so that's why I picked this one up. And it was really interesting. It was like obviously about architecture and about like how your space affects you and how it affects other people. In terms of Harry, I think that he seems like the sort of person who surrounds himself with good people and a good space, and I'm sure that like translates into where he lives. Not that I know about that, because that would probably be quite strange, but I'm assuming that he has, I don't know, the vibe I get is like a peaceful house, relaxing sort of vibes, maybe with some like quirky little statues or like paintings. I don't know, but I feel like that's where he's going with that. And he seems very grounded and like aware of how things affect him, so I think that's what he would take from this book. The final book I read was also mentioned in the Beauty Papers interview, and that is Leaves of Grass. The book wasn't mentioned, Walt Whitman, the author, was mentioned. What I get from this book is that Walt Whitman is the OG superstar treat people with kindness legend. Every single poem basically is just about like, let's all be equal, let's love each other, let's support each other, I love everyone and I'm great. That's really what the whole book's about. So I think he is just the treat people with kindness, the role model we all need. In his poem A Song for Occupations, he specifically encourages people to see each other as like who they are, and to like seek out human connection, which is very much what Harry says he wants to do too. I don't mean for this to come off in an offensive way, but the last poem in this book is called Great Are the Myths, and it's all about like things being beautiful and things being great. Now, when I was looking into this poem, it says that the reason Walt Whitman put this at the end is like a bit self-important, to be like, this is the book, this is the poem I'm leaving you with. I too am great and beautiful. Now, I'm not saying Harry Styles thinks that, but I'm also saying he thinks that because like he is so self-confident and so like sure of himself. So I think he takes that from Walt Whitman. He thinks he's great, and he is. I'm not saying he's not, but yeah, I'm just saying they are on that same level, you know. Final thoughts. My final thoughts are that Harry Styles is very well read and he seems very intelligent, and he read like a big array of books. These are just not things I would normally read. As I say, I read rom-coms. So it was quite a change for me, but I did enjoy it. And also a lot of his books are about loneliness and happiness and love, which is sweet, but a lot of loneliness. So maybe he's got a bit of angst, or maybe he did when he read these. I don't know if he read them recently. But yeah, and the writing style of basically all of them is quite straightforward and lyrical, which, as I said before, definitely I think influences how he writes his songs. The overall theme, or the overall message that I took from these books, are that I want to go to Japan, because a lot of them mention Japan, and I want to travel. So basically I want to travel and be wild, which is quite difficult in a pandemic. So I won't be doing that, but I'd like to. I think that's everything I had to say. I've probably missed things out because I'm not used to filming and it low-key makes me stressed. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to do another one, let me know. I have actually ordered some other books, but I'm gonna hold off for a bit because I feel like it's too much. So I'm gonna just not read a Harry Styles book for a while. However, I would like to do other people, if anyone has any suggestions of who to do. And if there are any more Harry Styles recommendations, please recommend me them. If you want to like, comment and subscribe, that would be great, because I read all of this week. So many words in a week. My brain felt frazzled when I went to bed last night, but it was worth it. It was a good week and I'm glad I did it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you possibly soon for a new video, hopefully soon. Stay safe and goodbye. Bye.